You're not going to save the world, because you're not. You're going to change someone's life.
The only difficulty is remembering all their birthdays.
I wasn't really sure whether you could be a foster carer if you were, a single person. Turns out you can.
If you've got space, don't hesitate, because you will get the support, you will get the help that you need in order to help them get along.
The assessment process it's a little bit like a series of interviews, which might sound a bit formal, but you'll be assigned a social worker who will come round to your house and you'll spend time together kind of exploring about fostering. So we want to kind of get to know all about you, really. So we will perhaps come and see you 5 or 6 times, and each time we'll kind of let you know what we're going to be chatting about beforehand. Often people might find it quite intrusive, but it's really important that we do a really robust and thorough assessment. We're placing looked after children with carers, so we need to know as much as we can about their background and what's kind of made them want to foster, so that we can really understand their strengths and their skills, so we can best place the child with them, so we give the placement the best chance of success. I think we have a really wide range of carers. We have single carers, we have same-sex couples, we have families who are fostering with grown-up children or their own younger biological children. We've got people who work full-time who are offering care. We've got people who perhaps one person is at home. Everybody wants to provide care for the child, and that's what they all have in common.
My name's Laura, I'm a single mum and I've been fostering for 7 years. I was probably about 8 when my mum started fostering, so I've grown up living at home with foster children, living with us, so it's been part of my life really, and I always thought when I was older that I'd like to be a foster carer as well. For the last, quite a few years, I've had teenagers come. Teenagers are going through quite a difficult time, so I think if you can try and relate to how they're feeling and maybe sort of think back, putting yourself in that situation, I think that helps, and I think they like that as well.
We're Sam and Paul, and we've been fostering disabled children for 5 years. I have a disabled brother, and I think that gives you some interaction with the world of foster carers and social work. Possibly that's where it came from, because he used to have short breaks, so he went to a foster carer for 1 weekend a month, and he had a lovely time there, and they were lovely people. I don't think you need any experience of working or being with disabled children to foster disabled children, because Oxfordshire give you a lot of training and support, and whenever we wanted anything we would ask for it, and we were always given a positive response. A lot of people are scared of disabled children because there's an unknown there. You need to be accepting, don't you, of the child.
You need to be accepting
family.
of what they are, because they come formed in some way already. I mean, they have developed into the direction.
With all fostering, the rewards you get is when you see the progress of the children, when you see them develop, when you see the difference that you've made to their lives. And with disabled children, that can be extra special, because when they make a step of progress or development, and it's often an even bigger joy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's really great to see them progress.
The needs of any child are different, and with a disabled child, those needs may fall in a different area to a non-disabled child's, but they're the same as other children, in that there will always be a different spectrum of needs with each child, and a foster carer will need to learn about those needs when they foster that child. You might have a child that comes with you, there's lots of things that you need to improve on, lots of things that you need to change, but you just choose one small thing at a time and try to work on changing that.
I guess if you consider it but are a bit afraid, you could consider relief care first, because that is less intensive, I guess, or at least it's a commitment for a shorter time. And then I'm sure you'll find that It's not as scary as you might think at all. If you have the space and the time to do it, then go for it. It's really good. It is really rewarding. Absolutely.
We're Sue and Kev, and we've been fostering for 19 years. I think the quality you have to have, or it is good, is to realise these kids don't want money, they don't want things, they just want love and they want attention, they want your time. These kids that walk in the door don't know us, they don't know to trust us, they don't know that we're going to make good decisions for them. So you've got to spend more time than you would normally in order to do things, letting the child know what's going to go on, what's going to be expected, so that they're not going to have big surprises, because big surprises in their maybe previous lives or situations might have been scary. Over the years, there's been loads and loads of training. I've done some really good courses that have been really useful. All of these things keep the fostering in the forefront of your mind, so you don't get complacent. So the more training you go on, the more you're thinking, right, I can deal with that way, or do this way. So it's really useful. So yeah, that's why you bought that one. Everything is going to be okay.
Because of all the people's lives that they've made a difference to. It's, it makes them heroes. I'm very proud of them. Patience. A lot of patience. A kind heart. Determination. You've got to have a lot of determination for that child. Yeah, they are. I look up to them. I look up to my mum and dad.
It does take work. It takes a lot of work, some of them. Some of them come and they just fit in and they're very, very easy. Others come there and they test you. They always test to see whether or not you actually can look after them. That could put people off, but don't let it, because you can. There's a lot of support if you need it, and there's always someone you can talk to give advice.
My name's Ilsa. I'm a single foster carer and I've been fostering for almost 9 years. They become so ingrained in your whole family life that, one day they walk in as strangers and before you know it, they live here and they know where to get a cup from and they know how to get their own cereal. They just know this house like it's their own. And that's that moment you think, oh wow, and when did you stop being a stranger and becoming a complete part of this family? Those are the really good moments. You have to be open, I think, and really be able to just give everything, give all you've got. And you have to be very patient, extremely patient, and fun. We have a lot of fun in this house. Sometimes when children come into foster care, their self-esteem is sort of rock bottom. Their faces are withdrawn and what you really want to do is just scoop them up and hug them and feed them really nice food, and that isn't necessarily what they want. The benefits of seeing them grow into confident children are that they will ask for things and they shine, they lift their chins up and they become really confident little people, and when it does happen, they kind of blossom. Those are the moments when you think, wow, we are doing a really good job.
When foster children first arrive, the way to make them feel welcome to your home, you might play games with them so they slowly feel more welcome. If they're shy, just make them laugh. It always works. Good thing about having other foster children in the family is that if they're feeling sad about things, you can relate to them and comfort them and say that it's not all bad. Better things come your way and stuff.
Hi, we're David and Jill. We're foster carers, short term, and we've been fostering for 2.5 years. Our children were all in favour of us fostering. 2 of them were still at home actually when we started, partly because the approval process was quicker than we expected. Our daughter loved it. She had 2 years with us while we were fostering. And for all our children, it's been a really positive experience.
And then, we decided that it really was what we were interested in, and we wanted to take it to the next level. So David decided he would cut down his working hours. So he's just working 2 days a week.
So I work as a fusion scientist 2 days a week. I approve foster carers roughly 1 day a week, and 9 days a week I foster.
The reality of it, that it actually has happened and we're actually fostering. We've got these amazing little people in our homes. We couldn't have unforeseen that really. Just exciting times, and each day is new and exciting, if a little tiring at times. For us, it's been such an amazing experience. So if it's something that you feel, you would be right for you, then I would go for it. And actually, we found out when we did the training course that there was a whole range of people in a whole range of different situations, and all of them were able to think about fostering, whether they've got a big house or a small house, already got a large family or no family, single parents, couples. I would just say go for it, really.
We're Mavis and Neil. We've been fostering for 3 years now. We've got 3 children, and we have a young unaccompanied minor with us who is 15 years old. He's been with us for about 2 months now. He came over from South Sudan. Quite traumatic, really, the journey for him. He's doing well. He's wanting to learn the language and get on with his life. He calls me mum, bless him. He says I remind him of his mum. So I'm really pleased that he's pleased, and hopefully we can offer him what he needs to actually grow up into, a terrific young man. One of the biggest myths I came across before I joined Rayleigh was people thinking, I even thought that kids that come into foster care are all, children with behaviour, abusive situations. But it's not about that. It's just kids who have been in unfortunate situations and have had to come into care because of that situation. Good boy. You don't have to have a kid that has drama per se. You meet the child, you talk to your social worker, they'll tell you all about the child before you even meet them. And then you will get an opportunity to meet them with your own child, to ask them questions, that you're all comfortable with having that person in your home before they actually come.
I didn't really know what to expect. What I can say is that I'm very, very pleased I took the plunge. It's been a challenge, but it's been an amazing challenge. It hasn't been very difficult for me and my family. As a matter of fact, it's been a blessing for all of us. Our children have grown up always having an older sibling, you could say. I believe they've enjoyed this as much as me and my wife have.
I would say if you've got the space in your heart and the space in your home, don't hesitate about fostering, because honestly, there is one child out there that you can make a huge difference in their lives.